Today, I'm actually at a sushi restaurant. Hey, yeah, this is going to be a fun show today. You're going to hear "Wushima Yaway" in the background every few minutes. It's all good. What are we going to start out with today? We're going to start out with before we get going with the questions. Hey, Justin, I want to talk about why I know Sasquatch. I'm going to hold the mic up because I know it's pretty loud here. Why I think Sasquatch are the ultimate, amazing, incredible, heavy primate. I'm going to talk about something that Jeff Meldrum taught me about, and it's their physiology. So, hey, everybody. Cephisaurus. It's not your name, Cephisaurus. Hello. Thank you for monitoring all the way from the United Kingdom. So, one thing I want to talk about quick before the questions is the anatomy of how they move. A ball joint rolls and rotates. This is something that Jeff taught me, and the Sasquatch walk in a really amazing, fantastic straight line. Besides the fact that they have a mid-tarsal joint in their foot, what's amazing is when you're a big, heavy, powerful primate like that, you can't do things inefficiently because the bones, the joints will wear out because you're so big, you're so muscular, you're so powerful. So it was good before, thanks. So when the Sasquatch walk, we walk in a fashion where it's like our hips roll straight, move straight forward. And that's actually not efficient. A Sasquatch, when they walk, there's a straight line in their trackway. A foot will go straight, instead of like this, like our feet will go. And that's because the ball is rolling from the hip. And I think that is amazing. Totally fantastic, amazing. They are, like, we're an incredible, I love my species. I think human beings are very impressive with our physiques and our bodies and things we're capable of. The climbing that we can do, we make kayaks and bikes and we do things so amazing and efficiently. And I think that's absolutely brilliant and phenomenal. But the Sasquatch they're better built for the environment. We're built on technology and they're built to just be born and be in the environment, much like a deer or a horse or a bear. Like a grizzly bear has got a big hump on his back for digging, and I just think that is totally amazing and fantastic. I'm sorry there was no Saturday video. Just life is crazy for me right now, and I got lots going on. But I'm working on the Sasquatch stuff, guys. I got really good things happening. I got announcements that I'm just signing deals, and waiting in the 11th hour for deals and stuff to come through with people. Looks like, hey, you guys are going to know it because you guys are awesome. Discovering Bigfoot Part 2. Shh. Looks like it's going to maybe happen. So I have some really cool things going on, and I'm very excited. So hope I'm having a beer. Yeah, I don't drink at all. Isn't that crazy? I don't drink. I don't do any kinds of... I avoid taking Tylenol as much as I can. Or if I take a Tylenol, I'll make sure the next month I take something, it'll be an Advil. So please remember to like the video, everybody. Amanda, my girl, Cephisaurus. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being on here tonight. It's like 3 a.m. in the UK where she's from, so that's awesome. She's so devoted. She's such an awesome help to me. And if you want to help, send an email to bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Even if you haven't had a Bigfoot encounter and you just want to help out, Amanda is doing so much for me. And it's just, you know how people help out? You know what the secret is? You want to know the secret? Show up, do it, work, participate, and don't quit. Amanda's been with me for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months. I don't even know. It's been, it's been, and she just won't quit, Well, it's not that she won't quit. It's, she loves it and she's passionate about it. And so am I. And we get along so well because of that, So, Todd, you heard of the South American beobin? No, I haven't. Is that a Sasquatch-like creature? I'm amazed, beyond the Yowie and the Yeren and the Yeti and the Sasquatch and the Bigfoot, all the names for them, the Oma. Here's a name that's not known in pop culture at all, Winchester-Tunga. It's the Nakota, the Stony Nakota people call Sasquatch Winchester-Tunga. And they actually have a thing you do where you say Winchester-Tunga and another word when the Sasquatch is scaring you to try to calm them down, and apparently they speak that Nakota. So the elders taught me that. I thought that was so cool. We found that out. My expeditioners and I discovered that when we were at a gas station, and this guy was a fan of mine and loved my work, and he told us what the Nakota, because we're in the area doing research on Sasquatch that his people know about. and I really respect the indigenous cultures immensely. So it was awesome to Winchester-Tunga, and it just rung true to me. And the Sasquatch would come around, I would call them that, and it was just awesome. So UK has the best beers. I'm just not a beer guy. I tried so hard to like beer. I see people passionate about it and wine and stuff. Just not into. I really dislike the taste of alcohol. I think it tastes nasty. I'd rather have like barley and hops carbonated. Ugh. I love that people love that stuff though. So yeah, Cephisaurus is super awesome to have her. So let's do some questions. Hey Todd, I found a Bigfoot print when I was in Yellowstone Park near Lake. They're in Yellowstone, dude. I was doing research in Montana, and they go right down into Yellowstone. Absolutely. In fact, I found that. I'm pretty sure it's a Yellowstone video. Is that Yellowstone? Oh no, it's not. It might be a different park. There was that Sasquatch adults walking with the game cam, or not a game cam, but a camera that was cued on them. It looked very interesting to me. Might have been Yellowstone. Anyway, beautiful national park. Love it there. Maybe I'm getting the place wrong. I'm sorry. I'm really not thinking good these days. My brain. I'm just so exhausted, and I need to get back out in the wilderness and start getting. You know, when I do expeditions with people, we get a ton of exercise in beautiful, beautiful, serene, quiet places with incredible fresh air. Fresh air that's all littered with all these little pine things and all this stuff from the trees that we breathe, this fresh oxygen. And what happens, this is amazing, it happens to everybody, is all the natural sap and trees and plant material that you'll breathe in that's very natural for you, it's carbon, and it goes into your bloodstream, and it picks up all the toxins in your blood, and then your body is able to eject them. So the carbon, the specially made carbon from plants that you're breathing in trees and flowers, goes into your bloodstream, and what happens is you get this toxin overload because all these toxins are being injected from your body. So the first 2 days you're like exhausted, brutal, and then once you get used to it, there was a commercial break. Anyways, the last days of the expedition, people are just like $1 million, and they go home feeling like $1 million, I hope, because just being connected. There are things, guys, in nature, man. And when your feet are touching the grass and walking through the forest and the sphagnum moss, oh my God, the wilderness is so cleansing, it's so healing. You know, doctors are seeing that they're actually, see, people get like some kind of, they have a name for this sickness. It's like city sickness. There's a name for it. I can't remember what it is. But the solution is that for people to go sit in nature, walk around barefoot in delicious miso soup. Walk around in nature, let your feet touch the grass. The science of it is there's the chemical balances of your body and electromagnetically will balance itself out. But it's love. It's love and passion, and wilderness is so amazing. Good day, Dallas. Sorry about the buffering, guys. This is great Wi-Fi here. This Wi-Fi is like amazing. So just think of the buffering as commercial breaks, right? So hello, Todd. Been dreaming of going on a Sasquatch investigation with you since I first saw you on Finding Bigfoot. I'm sorry for how they portrayed you. I don't mind, Brandon. You know what, Brandon? Don't worry. They didn't. Brandon, I'll tell you something. The Finding Bigfoot people were, the name of the production company is called Snake Oil Productions. That's not a good sign. But they came out to Canada. I gave them my word that I would help them and do things with them, and they really did a lot of deceitful stuff. They were trying to discredit me and stuff. But you know what happened is I met like 4 or 5 people, one in particular that thought I was given a raw deal on that show, and he contacted me, and he's the reason Discovering Bigfoot Part 1 exists. He paid for that documentary, he paid for Jeff Meldrum to come out, and it was because I went on Finding Bigfoot. And this guy was a fan of the show until he saw the way they treated me, and his integrity drove him away from the Finding Bigfoot people, and he called me and paid for expeditions for like 4 years, and now the guy is just an amazing, wonderful person. So you'll see me give credit for him in my documentary. He's just a quiet guy that silently helped out and made a big investment and believed in me. And I love the guy. And I met him because I went on Finding Bigfoot. So my point is, though, you know, when you do something and you think you get deceived and played out, and it seems like it's a bad situation, sometimes the most beautiful things can come out of it. And I met the most wonderful man and lots of really amazing people. I got my Montana research happening because I got a raw deal on the Finding Bigfoot show, right? So and I was never bitter about it. It is what it is. Some people feel they need to compete with me. Some people need to feel like they need to cut throats and that's not the way I roll. I never will. and it was a very interesting experience. Sometimes when you have these crappy experiences and they're doing things that I thought I would never do and I never will do, they're substantiating something that I thought I should never do and teaching me what not to do. And I'll tell you, people that have bad fathers, bad mothers, bad relatives, bad people in their life, these people can be a shining example of what not to do. And knowing what not to do is almost as important as knowing what to do. Does that make sense? So Jill Lara asked, have you ever left them bananas instead of apples? I would never do that, Jill. Bananas, the peeling, a deer will, I don't know about elk, but I know deer will actually eat the peeling. And the peelings are, if you throw a banana peel in the fire, it doesn't even burn. It takes forever to burn because the banana peels are so tough and they're not an indigenous fruit to North America. They're meant for tropics. So you take something that's tropical and put it in an indigenous North American forest, the deer will eat it and they get really sick and it damages them really badly. So no bananas. In fact, when I go on expeditions, we're very cautious to make sure I'll leave an expedition site cleaner than when I got it. But especially bananas. You don't throw a banana peel out the window in North America because there are deer everywhere and they'll eat that and they get really sick, or it can really damage them and maybe kill them. So little things that, you got to learn. So even when putting out apples, somebody told me, make sure you're not sick and make sure that everybody's clean and healthy. You don't want to give the Sasquatch a flu. It might kill them, or pneumonia, right? So be really careful because, man, I love nature. And there's so many things that can go wrong. So really be careful, because if you can't, ignorance is no excuse, and we got to be smart, love nature so much, and take care of I love all the animals, the deer, the elk, the marmots, the birds. I'm a wilderness guy. I love the wilderness. So what's been your favorite interaction with Sasquatch? Well, I talk about it a lot. I think it's when the male Sasquatch, the old guy, was moving up on me. Thank you. An old Sasquatch was moving up on me and he was just kind of foraging towards me. And I think something great was going to happen that day. So I've talked about it a lot in the shows here. So I think that was my favorite one. Because it really was, I think why I would say it's my favorite is that there was really no fear, there was no intimidation. I was in love with the wilderness, I was in love with being out there. I was in such a wonderful place. My heart was just like in pure joy and pleasure. And then I had that encounter come along. And even though I made it end negatively, I just made a big mistake. But having that, I'll tell you, it was the closest. I mean, it was just so amazing that I can remember it so well. He was just, this big Sasquatch, this salt and pepper older guy, was like foraging towards me and getting closer, and I felt like he was smiling. I felt like he was just playing with the stuff and pretending to eat like I do, and it was so wonderful. It was probably one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I felt so happy. A little tear came to my eye, just a pure joy tear. I wasn't crying, but just a tear came to my eye, and I was like, this is the most incredible experience. I mean, wow, to have that, feel that Sasquatch energy as he was approaching me slowly. Like he was squatted down, he was foraging, he'd move, and he's foraging, he'd move. And I felt like he was smiling, even though I couldn't see, like he wasn't like smiling, but I felt like the Sasquatch faces are kind of like that, and it was more like his face was flat looking, which looked like a smile to me. And there was a joy in his eyes too. Like she held my eyes, like, right, and there was like a joy in his eyes, like there was a light in his eyes. And I never got like a frontal view of his face, but I could see his side profile, and he was pretending not to look at me, and so no, the wilderness is awful. Stay out of it. Thanks, killed by Bigfoot. Yeah, the wilderness is amazing. I hope you're being facetious. So finding Bigfoot sucks, and no disrespect to finding Bigfoot. I don't want to be a hater of any kind. The show is really it did damage to. I have to admit, it did damage to legit researchers, because I'm pretty sure I got the opportunity to have that show first. They came to me first, except I refused to do it the way they wanted to travel around. I thought it was bogus, and then there was just too many bogus things going on. So the BFRO was a much better fit for them. They just don't care about this. They don't do things anywhere the way I do. But what's damaging is Discovery Channel and other networks would come to me and want to do a show, and they would be like, well, there's nothing you can really do. It's all been done on Finding Bigfoot. And honest to God, and even Survivor Man would do this. So Discovery Channel, National Geographic, History Channel, all those networks would come to us and say, what are you going to do that hasn't been done on Finding Bigfoot? And we would smile and go, really find Bigfoot. And you're telling this to people who live on cement and glass houses in Los Angeles and New York City, right? And they go, but there's no Bigfoot. And they go, yeah, there is, and I'm really finding him. Like I'll discover a Bigfoot. I'll prove they're real. And they always kind of snicker at you, and they thought, well, there's really nothing you can do that hasn't been done on that show for 7 seasons. They've milked the hell out of it. They've done every ridiculous little stupid thing you can, except find Bigfoot, and that's all that Survivor Man did. And that's all that I did was really discover the species. So Todd, summer's coming, and we all know fire season is coming. Yeah, isn't that scary, John? I don't want to talk about that. I'm terrified by the forest fires and stuff out here. It affects everybody. It affects the Sasquatch too, and it's crazy. Earth energy is, Ricky, you're right, it's so important for human beings. And maybe some human beings don't really care and it's not really their thing. I don't understand that, but one thing that you gotta love about our species is we're so different. And I love technology, and I love some cities. The big cities are kind of beyond me now. I don't really. LA scared me so much. It was just like terrifying. It's just a big cement jungle. It was very overwhelming for me, but I know people love LA, and good for them. They should love LA. It's just not I'm not cut for that, but people love the city, and good for them. So it's beautiful that the human race is so diverse, right? People love different things, and if you live in the city and the city's your thing, love it and be there. It's awesome. Good for you. Where can we send emails to? It's up, Stephisaurus, my girl Amanda. It's bigfootencounter@gmail.com, or go to my website. There's email addresses there and stuff. So I get emails all the time from people, and I'm trying my best to look at them, or through Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. I think you could just send me an email. I'm at Maximum Friends on Facebook, but I do Facebook and Instagram. So kind of here's a secret. I'm a fan of Instagram. I love photographs a lot. The art of them is beautiful. I'm a videographer, but I really appreciate the art of still photography really very much. And so I love Instagram. Just Instagram's not for social media networking for me. It's for my own personal. But I don't have very many followers on there. I'm kind of quiet about it. But you can follow me on Instagram, send me messages there, or try to. I don't know. It's just, you'll get through to me. Keep trying it. Jen says, Todd, I love your passion. It's because of you I found the courage to tell my encounters with Sasquatch. Good for you, Jen. I'm honored. Thank you. That you found the courage to tell your encounters. Yeah, and damn it, Jen, I'm with you. Like you show people my stuff, and you say this is my friend Todd standing, and we're friends. When we break through and have a positive thing like that, when my passion helps you find the courage to tell about your encounters with people, you go show them that I'm not a Sasquatch believer. I know they're real. I know it. I can prove it in a court of law. I fight for this discovery. It really matters to me. I'm very passionate about it, and good for you. And I support you. Jeff Meldrum supports you. My colleagues support you. Survivor Man supports you. He's a wonderful man. Good for you. You tell people. It's just the truth, right? If they don't like hearing about the truth, then go shove your head in some sand and be an ostrich. So sorry, I thought you were talking to me. Brian, why wasn't I talking to you, Brian? Maybe I'm talking. Hi, Brian, I'm talking to you right now. Will fire cause more Sasquatches to be found or seen? I don't know, John. It's just so scary, As a planet, it's so damaging, it's so scary. So we're making major changes with global warming. People think global warming's a hoax. I've had expeditioners come out and say, global warming's a hoax. And I'm like, dude, the damage we're doing to the planet is real. Like, you have to really you have to have your head in your butt to think there's nothing. We're degrading and damaging this planet badly, and I want it to change. And the Sasquatch, that's one of the reasons I'm passionate about this Sasquatch discovery, is they can help. I'm just a little guy, I'm nobody special or famous, and they can do something. They can come out, they can make a change, and that's what I pray for, is them to help me make a change. And if you understand the Sasquatch and what they represent and who they are, the ultimate power in the wilderness, that in wildness in wildness is the survival of this planet, and they are the ultimate species in the wilderness. They're the apex species of the wilderness. They can help. So Matt Moneymaker I don't worry about Matt Moneymaker. I wish him the best. I'm just not going to hate on anybody. I don't care. That's so great, Jen. Would love to share. Yeah, go to the forum, Jen. Forum's awesome. Whoop! Show me Sasquatch. Show me the Sasquatch. I do that. I show people the Sasquatch. Hard work and dedication goes a long way. Can't give up. Thank you. Well, Emperor, if you give 100.0%, you have no regrets at the end of the day. So that's what I did with my documentary. That's what I do when I take people out. That's when I do in the field. I put 100.0% into it. And at the end of the day, you got to sleep well because there's really nothing more you could have done. So I learned that as a filmmaker. You always want to change your film and add more and put more stuff in it. But at the end of the day, it was the best I could do in the time I had. And I worked damn hard. At the end of my film, you'll see written, direct, and produced, edited, sound, blah, 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 by Todd Standing, because I did that. So, Todd, the first time I saw your footage, I knew it was the realest stuff out there. We'll say stuff. This is a G-rated show. I'm a military veteran man, 38 years old, and I believe in Bigfoot since I was 10 years old. And I'm sure you're saying I was laughed at. Yeah, don't worry about that. You know, people were laughed at when they said the earth was round and everybody was sure it was flat. And, you know, it's a cliche. If you're going to do anything great, if you're going to have an opinion that's, you know, not part of the status quo, then you can be my friend, right? I'm not interested in talking about the weather of the local sports team or bitching about gas prices. I'm interested in talking about big talk. I want to have big discussions to make big changes, and that's controversial. Then let's be controversial. I don't want to be normal. I want to be crazy. So, so is this live? Is this live? Can you say hi to me? Hey, Michael Kurakcha. Hi. It's live, brother. How you doing? Todd, you're so right. Thanks, Brian. I don't know what I was right about. I talk so much. You're talking. Never thought of that. Thank you, Jamie. Would Sasquatch eat cooked meat? You know what? I don't think so. I'll tell you why. That's a good question, Emperor Ozan. Because now, I don't even like cooked salmon anymore. Here I am, literally. This is not even exaggerating. Look at this. That's raw tuna. Raw tuna. And I love it. I don't want to eat cooked tuna anymore. I like dipping it a little bit. I dip it in my miso soup. But this is raw. I ate raw halibut. I love it. I don't want to eat it cooked anymore. It's so tasty when it's raw. But I think a Sasquatch, if you ever had cooked meat, he'd be like, bleh. I saw a bear do that once. That's what made me think of it. They just love the rawness. They love that's why I think, even listen to this. This is important. After I sip my miso soup. Sasquatch, when you're in the wilderness, and the berries that you eat, they're mostly sour. That's a real wild berry, is sour. If you gave a Sasquatch a donut or something with all that crappy sugar, I think they would just spit that out. Like, something's wrong with that. Something wrong with this moose meat. I say that because, okay, I went to some native people who were training me and helping me with the Sasquatch stuff. And they'd never had pork tenderloin before, so I went and bought them a whole bunch of pork tenderloin. And they never, in the native culture though, it's the elder squaw lady who decides, checks the food, make sure it's all good. So I had like $200 worth of pork tenderloin for this native family, and she doesn't speak English. She smelled it, she threw it all out, tossed away all my pork tenderloin. I was like, why did you do that? And she didn't speak English. They told me, she said there was something really wrong with that moose meat. So it's this unnatural meat, right? It wasn't moose meat, it was pork, but she just thought it was nasty. Anyways, my point is, when you got even people will eat moose meat or deer meat and like, oh, it's so gamey, but that's what wild meat should taste like. And when you get used to that flavor, you won't eat cow anymore. Cow is like, blah, when I'm used to moose and mule deer, that flavor of it, right? So it's the flavor, it's the rawness, it's the potentness of it. It's the texture of raw meat. And raw, like even, my salmon, raw, right? Like, see, I got a bit of soy. This is raw salmon, It's soft. The flavor is so much richer. And I just think it's funny you asking me this. The only time I'm at a sushi bar, I see Sasquatch loving, absolutely adoring raw meat, raw flesh, the flavor, the taste, the texture, and they won't age it. It's not going to go bad. Like, you're supposed to age meat 7-10 days or something. And absolutely, they would despise cooked meat. They don't do fires, and when you get used to that raw flavor, wild taste, you won't go back to anything. So, what killed your beard, brother? That's a long story. It's okay not to have a beard. I don't know what's happening with that. So, it's just stuff. Many on here, only 26 thumbs up. That's okay. Yeah, thumbs up the video, guys, if you love it. Jen, we're having a sightings experience category. We'd love to hear from your encounter. I'd love to hear about people's encounter. I love that stuff. I think it's so awesome. So if you've really had an encounter, please don't BS us. I can almost read it. when there's crap in an encounter, I hear stuff that just sounds contrived. There's an authenticity when somebody has an actual Sasquatch encounter that I'm really getting a feel for. So somebody with a name I can't even pronounce, IMD, quote, Todd, have you to invite Joe Rogan? Yeah, I'd love to invite Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's a hater of mine. He's a hater of mine. He hates my stuff. He says my video's fake as fuck, and I'm a Joe Rogan fan. I love the UFC. I love his stand-up comedy. So initially it hurt my feelings a little bit, but I'm well over that. He thinks the Patterson footage is fake as F too. Did I swear a minute ago? I apologize if I did. But the Patterson footage is definitely real. There's no doubt about it. The Patterson footage is a miracle. It's a total miracle. It's got to be real. There's tracks to substantiate that sighting. Tracks of a biped that are mid-tarsal joint organic that a tracker has looked at and said, damn, those are real. So Ozzy, Braza, hi from Brisbane, Todd. Hey, Brisbane, Brian, Wigful. I really love these live streams, mate. Well, good day to you, mate. I love Australia. I think Australia's amazing. I'd love to go see the Yowie. So are you still friends with Les Strouds? Yeah, Les might come out and see me this year. I would love that. I will always... What I was able to accomplish with Survivor Man was such a gift, and it was mostly because of him. He fought to do Survivor Man Bigfoot. When they told him not to, he fought to. He wouldn't take no for an answer. And there's the sushi. Anyway, I'll always love Les Stroud. He could never... If Les Stroud hated me and wouldn't talk to me anymore, I'm still going to love Les Stroud. You're nobody's ever going to take that away from me. I got to work with Survivor Man. I'm a fan of his. I love the guy. And I just smile. Les Stroud, I'm just going to smile. So, people are in bad Sasquatch. Yeah, Norma. There are good people, bad Sasquatch. Absolutely. As scary as that is, I don't want to meet it. And I've seen some bad Sasquatch that were angry and hostile, and maybe they had their reasons. So another Aussie in the house, or is that same Aussie? G'day, Todd. That's what I say when I answer the phone. I say g'day. Finding Bigfoot is a huge projection. At night in the woods, terrible, Todd. Your approach seems correct. Thanks, Andrew. Again, I don't want to hate anybody. So, and that show's over. So, isn't it? I think it is. Please start selling foot casts. I'll buy one. Yeah, it's something I really want to do, right? I'm going to do that with Jeff Meldrum and start getting foot casts out there. I think that'd be amazing. But so my cousin built a cabin at Nordegg. Any tips you might have for them to experience their first vacation home? That's awesome, Dave. You should email me. I'd like to know where they are, because it's they're a Sasquatch out in Nordegg, right? So look for tree breaks, look for structures, look for tracks if you can, and but go out and love nature. Go out and pick berries and forage and love the trees and go love nature. And if the Sasquatch are there, they'll come around and interact if they think you're amazing, So have you made friendly communications back and forth? Casey. Never. Yeah, I've never had like a dialogue with them, or even like a knock here, knock back, knock here, knock back. It's always they just do in the wilderness. You just kind of, if you make one sound, you're saying I'm over here. If you make two sounds, you're saying I'm precisely here. If you make three sounds, you're just being a dumbass. You're like crazy, and they won't be interested in you. So things are very subtle in the wilderness. Every sound, every peep, every crack, every crunch, it matters. Nothing just happens without real reason and purpose. So when you live in that kind of calm and serenity, that's all you need. One wood knock, one whoop, and you know a Sasquatch is there. And if you doubt yourself, then you shouldn't be there. You better know what that sound is. You better get it the first time, because there might not be a second time. If there is a second time, be grateful and be mind blown, but there's not going to be a third. So the communication, no, I wish. Todd, maybe that experience indicates that packing cameras and guns along when trying to interact with Sasquatch is not a good idea. You're right. And like I've said before, a lot of my expeditioners, they pay for the expeditions. They're the customer, you could say. And a lot of times they make that, more often than not, they make that decision: no guns, no cameras. So I do that a lot now, and it's wonderful. It hasn't shown any significance better one way or the other yet, but yeah, we do that. So, maybe we had a pretty amazing sighting and we only had binoculars. So, hey Todd, this is from Doc Neum. Just signed in. Hey, nice to meet you, Doc. Is the colored red in this? Is there colored red in the Sasquatch? I don't know. Now, maybe if you shine a light in their face, the eyes go red. But I see green, definitive green. Just when there's no light shining, when there's nothing but the eyes, I see green. I usually wasn't. I wasn't going to tell people about that in the past. Kind of wanted to keep it my secret because I've seen the green eyes so many times before. And the reason I want to keep it a secret is when people call me and say, "Hey, I saw orange eyes glowing," I'm like, no. Hey, I saw these, light blue eyes glowing. No, that's a mountain lion. That's extremely unlikely to be a Sasquatch. So it's kind of a cue that I used to use, but I don't like keeping secrets. So I'm just trying to be a better sharer of information. It's something I'm just working for, just to be more honest, more open, more sharing, because it makes you a more powerful cooperation when more people are out there open and sharing, right? So it's green. There's a secret right there. They're definitively green every single time, without exception. Every single time a Sasquatch, I've seen them at night, it's green eyes, no doubt about it. I'm telling you, green, like very green. But if you shine a light in their eyes, you might get a different response, right? It might be red. Have I ever touched a Sasquatch? No, but a Sasquatch has touched me, held me, picked me up, ran with me. So they have made physical contact with me. I've never, I'd be afraid to touch one, I think. Yeah, to reach out and do that, oof, man, that's like, I'm nowhere near at that level. So that'd be amazing. Wouldn't that be cool? So, have they ever talked to you telepathically? Ooh, strange question, but yes. Yeah, there have been images in my mind. They've led me in certain directions. I don't feel like I've had a communication, but I feel they've had images, and there's some pretty deep personal stuff there that I'm actually just not comfortable talking about right now. It'll be in a book eventually that I'll write. And I have talked about it a little bit, but I feel uncomfortable right now because it's a very personal experience that I had one time where I got my spiritual animal ritual done. And I had a very intimate, deep, personal experience with them that was unreal, amazing. And yeah, there was some deep spiritual stuff going on there. It was pretty impressive. Other than that, though, beyond that, it's only been little images here and there. So, Todd, you've seen the Provo, Utah videos. Thoughts? Dig the live stream. Thanks, Gilbert. Provo, Utah. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember seeing it. I know it's not great footage, right? Yeah, and I'm not really a good critic of them. Usually what I like to take from a Sasquatch video is take something of interest, like the busted over tree one, where they got the tree broken over. They can do that, but is it real? I don't know. But the fact that they do that and they have that kind of power is what I would like to talk about, right? So, or I'll see a video and it's like, looks weak, looks like a weak human moving in a suit, and I'll say no, because I don't think Sasquatch are that weak. I think that's more like human movement. So, Northern Idaho Sasquatch, there's definitely an emotional connection with them. You got to go up there with a big heart and good intentions, and they'll find you. Yeah, I agree. Don't verse them. It's not man versus wild. Go survive within wild. Go live with wild. Go get nurtured by wild. Go connect to the wild, and that's how you connect with Sasquatch. Do they have infrared vision? No. Definitely not. But oh my God, what's it called? The infrasound they project, but that's not vision, that's sound. Infrasound will knock your ass out and leave you unconscious. Believe me, I know. Gorillas have done it to me, and so have Sasquatch. But infrared vision, absolutely not. Just excellent nighttime vision, I think. But anyone East Tennessee, you looking for somebody, Timothy, to hook up with? Man, I want to start doing that. So just so crazy busy right now getting my stuff. You got to prioritize. It sucks, but I have to prioritize. There's only so much work I can do in a day. And I'd love to have all these Tennessee Sasquatch, Tennessee discovering Bigfoot, Washington discovering Bigfoot, Montana, Alberta, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to have all that. It just, it's a lot of work. So are you just high on coffee talking to us? No, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. Well, I do drink coffee when I'm exhausted and I need to drive another 10 hours. That's happened to me a few times. Well, not 10 hours, like 2 hours more. Coffee buzzes me, and coffee is, man, it's a diuretic, dudes. I go out in the bush, I can sleep all night without going to the bathroom, which is, I love. Every coffee drinker, or a day I'll drink coffee at night, I'll be peeing 3 times. And then I get a headache because the water is flushed out of my system. So it's a diuretic, it flushes the water out, and then I get a headache, and no matter how much water I drink, I can't get hydrated. So I really stay away from coffee, especially on expeditions. Bad news. 2 large landslides occurred near Joffrey Lake last month. Do you suggest people search the area for? No, no. Extremely unlikely. I'd say don't even bother. No, 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 no. I don't like LA either. It's too busy. When I don't dislike LA, I'm not trying to disrespect. Happy for people in LA. It's just not my thing. I love that people love LA. I think that's great. So, do you think tigers are Sasquatch? Do you think Tiger are Sasquatch in Wisconsin? I don't know that one. Sorry, Donald. I don't know what you're saying. So what do we got here? Todd, the night vision footage. Whose huge back was that? I don't know that. That's a good question, Amanda. And I don't know that. I didn't know that individual. I'm sure it's a Sasquatch I didn't know. So, because he was just not fitting. Like, he wasn't the big dominant male of the group. He wasn't the old male. But to me, you know what I think? I feel like that was, in human years, I feel like that was about a 45. I think that was a middle-aged Sasquatch. If, let's say they lived to, let's just theorize, if they lived to 70, and I think I've seen a 60-year-old, 65-year-old, that was the old gray one. I think he was getting up there. And then the big dominant male of the group, he was 30 when I started. I think he's just, maybe in his 40s now. He's a beast. And he's thick and heavy and muscled. I think that Sasquatch was in his 50s because his legs and his body and his arms were a little bit slimmer, but not quite as slim as the old one. But he certainly wasn't as big as the dominant male of the group, and not big like Jake. So just some. I think there's maybe 14 individuals I've accounted for in the radium group. So and hey Phil, don't hate cities, dude. Don't hate. You can dislike them, but let's not hate things. Oh, hate just kills you, man, so much. Aussie Brisbane, hi from Brisbane. Hey Todd, did I do this already? Let me go down a bit here. I'm just gonna whip down here. Thanks for the passion. Thank you. Do you think the discovery of the species will lead to regulations with either human prevention or reduced human interactions? Boy, that's a good question. This is the way it goes, though. This is from Splash Bordeaux. What a good question. Man, you guys are good. So, yes, when the discovery of this species happens, primatologists, forest rangers, there'll be conferences, there'll be discussions, it'll be deep, it'll be rich, and I won't be there for that. Universities and biologists and all sorts of experts and other people will become passionate about it and get involved. Primatologists will stop going to Africa and start doing this stuff. So, these things will happen. I believe in my species that the right things will be done and those things will be implemented, and I'm very excited to have it happen. So I think the Bigfoot stack the evergreen trees in winter because they eat the needles. These, when there's nothing else to eat, that's why sometimes the roots are in the air. Yeah, Liz, eating the needles. I mean, it's possible, but I think it's extremely unlikely. I don't know of any species that can digest pine needles, but yeah, can you imagine if they could? I mean, that's what somebody said to me once, if you think nature is not, I think it's not possible in nature, you're a twit. Beavers eat wood, for God's sake. Don't tell me it can't happen. It can happen. And if they could eat pine needles, have a good day, right? They're going to survive anywhere. Do you offer private expeditions from Fort Wayne, Indiana? Well, yeah, I am doing private Well, even, it's funny, Joe Cook, is I'll have, 3 people signed up to come out, paid for, and one shows up. Or I'll have 2 people signed up and paid for, and one doesn't show up. So I've done many one-on-one expeditions, and I would do a private expedition. I think that's my first expedition this year, is a private one, and it's not because of any other reason other than I'm going out with this incredible tracker, hunter, native kid who's just amazing from Ontario. Amazing. Like, I'm so impressed with his skills. We're kind of having like a bromance right now. We're going to teach each other stuff, so I'm happy to just him and I go out. And plus, he's really tough, and we're going to go freaking kill it. We're going backcountry. I'm going out 230 pounds. I'm going to come back 180. We're going to go kill it and kick some ass. And so he's very connected. He knows a lot about Sasquatch and nature, and so he gets a private expedition. It just, it depends, right? So a lot of times I have expeditioners come out. 2 people will show up, and they become best friends after, right? So that's happened a few times where these guys become amazing friends and good chemistry. It's just good people, So I love that. I love creating relationships and stuff. So What global warming? The cars are killing global warming. Yeah, it's not cool. Tuna in general. Those are ugly faces, Justin Kinley. I love tuna. So, especially raw, it's really tasty. Hi, Pennsylvania, Ronald. So, there's the expedition page, Casey. I heard one Ardiac Mountains, nothing had that lung capacity or dynamic range. Terrifying. Yeah, I think you're talking about making a sound. Yeah, that's what really convinces me in real life that it can't be a person, is the power and the lungs and the voice. I don't think a human being could do that. So, hey, Bridget from Australia, where are you from? I'm in Brisbane. Never seen one. And in Australia, it's a Yowie. Do you offer private expeditions? Yeah. What the heck's going on with this thing? There's smoke down here. What did I do? Let's go way down. Way down. How far down does this go? Holy crap, I'm way at the top. Oh my goodness, there's 1,000 break. Right? Let's continue. So, hello, my friend down here in Louisiana. Rare, but they're here. Yeah, I've heard that, Frank. So, cool. Good for you. I was in Alberni National Park Forest. We had an 8-foot stick thrown at our tent. Very interesting. Yeah, they'll do that. And why? The question I would ask is why? Did you do something that upset them? Think about what you did. Was it thrown at your tent in a violent way? Did it damage your tent? Or was it thrown by your tent to get your attention? These are the questions I would ask. Because are they trying to get your attention? Are they trying to let you know they're there and they're trying to interact with you? Or did you do something that upset them? And only you can know the answer to that, right? So, daily vlogs for you, cool. Thanks, Amanda. You can't tuna fish, but you can tuna guitar. Is there any part of the wood that you believe in the woo you believe in? Well, I don't know what the woo is. Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. Hey, Tim, I hope the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference is an amazing success. Have you heard of any Bigfoot activity in the San Diego area? No, definitely no. Hello from Oregon, one of the best, most Bigfoot populated states. Tighten the savage cabbage. I agree. Like, yeah, Oregon is amazing habitat, fantastic Sasquatch habitat. And I have a couple research colleagues that I work down there, two of my favorite people. And yeah, Oregon's such an amazing, I'd love to go to Oregon. I haven't been there though. I really don't think you know anything. Well, thanks for your opinion, Sean. 2 + 2 is 4, so got ya. I know something. But thanks for your opinion. What do you think the Sasquatch next to the tree had his back to you? Possibly to pose as a tree, but not, well, Splashboard dude, I'll tell you, I was dog tracking and I was on the right side. I got lucky. It was tremendous luck. If I was following his tracks directly, I wouldn't have seen him. If I'd have been dog tracking on the opposite side, I wouldn't have seen him. So if you're smart like a Sasquatch, the odds are that it's 66% chance I'd have been not able to see him. It was 1 in 3, and I rolled the dice, and I got the 1/3 luck. It was luck, well, fortune. I tell you, I've been in situations though 50 times where I lost that roll of dice. That was the day where I rolled the dice, and I was on the right side at the right time, moving in the right direction, and yeah, and he just, but you know, he also doesn't know how well I can see, and I had night vision, right? I had an infrared light. I had a whole battery that was like on my hip. It was like 20 pounds, or 10 pounds. And that battery was lighting up the infrared light that I had, and they can't see infrared, so he was maybe thinking I couldn't even see him, right? So, but it was really, really, everything just fell into place, and I was very fortunate that happened. So, we'll all be involved in the research facility once it's going. Do you think that Jane, I would love it if Jane Goodall got involved, but Jane's not. Jane's got to focus on her chimpanzees. She's got big things to do, and she's gonna stay laser focused on what she has, and good for Jane. I love Jane Goodall. I just love that woman. Such a fan of hers. She's so amazing and brilliant, and she needs to focus not on Sasquatch. So, you ever thought about using a 360 cam? Yeah, it's so much data though, and I thought about it, but no, it's just not realistic. So, hey Todd, I filmed a Sasquatch with a hero cam on my chest, and it's garbage. Hero cams, you know, the Sasquatch was 50 yards away. It looks like a black nothing, and I could see it perfect with my eyes. And then if you get a hero cam that has that, let's say it doesn't have a zoom, but let's say it's out 15 times optical, then it's worthless, because now it's just the area. It's when you realize when the reality of it hits you, It's not like you think it is way harder than you think. It's hard to get footage, man. It's so hard. Hey, Todd, do you know Scott Carpenter in Tennessee? I do not. But thank you for asking. I doubt they would be in San Diego area. Yeah, but are there mountains? I don't know enough about San Diego. Are there mountains and forests and wilderness? I don't know. You think they eat humans as a treat? Absolutely not. We would taste disgusting. Why would you eat human? Man, and I'll tell you something. Maybe this is a little weird, but my native teacher told me you can judge a species by their scat about how you would eat it. So, like deer and elk and moose, their scat's nice. It's clean. You know, mountain lion scat is nasty. Oh, it's horribly nasty. So, yeah, you don't eat mountain lions, and bear scat's not very good. Well, it's not like you eat it or anything, but anyways, and human scat is the nastiest, gross. People eat terrible things. Ugh, no, don't eat a human. Is there a place to download stills? Send my donators crystal clear raw images that are not available. The images online are garbage of mine. They've all been photoshopped and messed up with, and they look worse when you Photoshop them. So, Raymond Bailey, thank you very much for the donation. You just bought me it's my miso soup. Thanks for the miso soup. It's delicious. I really appreciate it. If you want to make a donation, the best place is go to my website, discoveringbigfoot.org. I actually get that money. So you bought YouTube 3 beers and me 1. Does that help? But I'm super grateful for YouTube and this platform. Thank you so much. Yeah, there you go. Check out the forum. So Amanda's awesome. East of San Diego, we have lots of mountains terrain. Cleveland National. There you go. Thanks, Norm. So I'm not, I don't know. But thanks for that. Appreciate that. That was buffering. Okay, where are we? Wonder if someone has telepathically communicated with Bigfoot? Yes. I have a video. What's my video called? Well, no. I talked about a girl that I know, mentally handicapped, beautiful girl that definitely mentally telepathically communicates with Sasquatch. I'm very convinced of it. The evidence of it was profound and significant, and I wholeheartedly believed her. Beautiful, beautiful Down syndrome girl who communicates. I wanted her to teach me that. Am I capable of learning that? I'm practicing it. I'm doing animal communication. I'm being tutored right now. So that's something that's very important to me. I'm actually practicing on my dog. I have a tutor, a teacher, who's teaching me how to, because I love my dog, and I'm going into another room, and I'm calling her and seeing if she comes. And I'm thinking a thought and then pushing it onto her and seeing if she can think, I'm going to give you bacon, I'm going to give you bacon. Is she going to salivate? Right? If I call her in another room and she comes running over, and if I go, my dog's name is Ari, I go, hey Ari, let's go play some ball. If I say ball and we're going to play ball and she comes running over wagging her tail, right? Then I'm getting it right. So this is it's not weird paranormal stuff. This can be science. It can be real. And if I can communicate with my dog, animal communicate with them telepathically, then that's amazing. Maybe I could do it with Sasquatch. Todd has taken the best photo of Sasquatch. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, thanks. I'm flattered. Do you think they use navigation? How do they avoid highways? Sassy, cute. Highways are so obvious. Sometimes I think they're forced to cross roads. Absolutely. I've seen them cross roads. But I wonder if they use stars or moss to navigate. You know, Sassy Q, it's their home. Like, literally think of it this way. What do you use to navigate around your house? They're born and raised out there. They never take a break. It's their home. They know every nook and cranny, rock. They've been born and raised there. Their parents have been running around there. Their parents show them things, the hot spots, the places to go. They're taught, they learn like primates. No need for that stuff. And you know, the rivers, the mountains, I don't know. For me, it's so obvious, you know. I never get lost following a river. River goes, and even you could turn me around and spin me and flip me upside down and kick my ass, and I'd wake up unconscious. And I'm going to remember which way the river flowed and which way's back home. Always going to remember that. And where I live, there's rivers everywhere, rivers, creeks, and that's how I navigate, is using the rivers and following them and remembering the flow direction, right? So I would think in my mind, follow the flow to go home, or go against the flow to go home. And I just remember that simple thing. So yeah, Ashley, Riser, Monster Quest, NC, Riser, keep us updated in the forum. Cool, thank you, Amanda. Sasquatch are everywhere. They're not in Hawaii. I disagree. I think there's lots of spots they're not at. So Ashley, I'll come, would love to see it. Paul's talking to Ashley, that's great. Do you think when we're friends with Sassy in the future, a separate bunch might start using technology? No, no way. They fear it. No way. Yeah, because I'll tell you this, technology separates you from the wilderness. You must understand this. You must. The more technology you use, the more you're separated from the wilderness. It starts with fire. Cooking, using it for heat, you're gonna get less fur, you're gonna rely on it. No, they don't they fear technology because it's made us insane. They don't want to get like that. And they love the wilderness, man. One thing I can tell you about a Sasquatch. This is one thing. Okay, I have mind spoke with them. There have been times when I've been around a Sasquatch and I feel the adoration they have for the wilderness. They love the wilderness. They love the trees. They love the earth. They love the animals. They love and adore the wilderness. You give them technology and they know that'll separate them from the wilderness. That's like telling a father you're going to separate him from his son. No way, baby. Love will connect you to the wilderness. Love connects them. And technology will move them away from it, and they won't do it. Love your style with the narrow-minded haters, Todd. In your last live feed, I mentioned that I was whistled at 5 or 6 of them. The scrub at the Griffin Uni, they were bloody close. Congratulations, dude. You got to be special if that's happening to you. I mean, only you know if that really happened or not. And if that's happening, you're special. There's something special about you. First thing I say, if you legitimately had a Sasquatch encounter, is congratulations. You had the pleasure of live interacting with one of the most rare, incredible beings in the planet. Congratulations. I'll send you some, Paul Clark. Thank you for your email address. Yeah, you guys share and stuff, right? Don't be afraid to share emails and talk here and cooperate. Don't be afraid of that stuff. Be afraid not to. Does that make sense? Be afraid to not try. There's one thing I can guarantee you. If you do nothing, you'll get nothing. If you try, something might happen. But that's the only way you have any hope of having anything happen. So, and Amanda, you guys can send, if you want to talk to somebody, if you want to be quiet and keep it keep it private, send your info to Amanda. That's what's your email again? A bigfootencounter@gmail.com, and she'll connect you guys. She'll do that stuff if you don't trust. But anyways, good idea, Todd, trying to communicate telepathically with your dog at a distance. Yeah, I think isn't that nice? This teacher I have is really good. So within 50 feet, but didn't see a thing. If you're talking about earlier, it was 50 yards. If I said feet, I apologize. And camera didn't pick up. It picked up a black blob. It just wasn't good. So, and I have the footage somewhere, but it's just garbage. So why haven't we seen any remains? Well, there's such a rare species, dude. I've spent, I don't know, over 1,000 days in the backcountry wandering around and searching. I've never seen a mountain lion remains ever, not once. Saw bear remains once. You see deer and elk remains all over the place because there's so many of them. But yeah, so stealth masters, yes they are, Kevin. I'd love to see a Sasquatch in a weightlifting. Wouldn't that be funny, Norm? That's a funny thing to say, and that would be hilarious, right? To see a Sasquatch in a weightlifting competition. Oh man, I would love to see that. Because we're talking, they're clearly twice as strong as a gorilla. And they're not like a gorilla, like they're more human than a gorilla, obviously. So you could put them on a bench, right? You'd have to build this special bench press to take a 900-pound Sasquatch. I mean, I like talking about this. Put a 900-pound Sasquatch on a bench press. And watch him bench 3,000 pounds, like you'd have to have special bars. A bar wouldn't be able to hold it, Put a Sasquatch in a squat rack. It's actually called a squat rack, a Sasquatch in a squat rack. Make this specially designed squat rack and have him squat 5,000 pounds. I mean, he basically would put a bus on him and he'd squat it, right? Wouldn't that be funny? I would love that. I'm sorry if that's crazy, but that would be, can you imagine that? Let's do a Sasquatch powerlifting competition. Oh my God, that would be hilarious, right? Well, it would be awesome. I'm laughing like impressed laughing. Like that would be just so incredible. Yeah, their grips, you're right, like their grip strength would be like, it would be insane. So I would love that. How fast can they run? How powerful are they? It's obscene how powerful they are. So to see them bench press, I mean, you basically put a bus on his chest, right, or a semi, and watch him bench press the differential right off his chest. They boom, 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 and do reps. It'd be awesome. I live in Chippewa River in central Michigan. Have experienced lots of activity out here over the years. Yeah, good for you. Reservations are a special place. Oh, you're not on the reservation, but the Chippewa River in central Michigan. That's his Central Michigan Bigfoot researcher. That's awesome. Good for you, dude. We'd love to hear about it. You know, you keep your research center, you do your thing, and if there's anything we can do to help, please let me know. I know how hard it is. I know how thankless it is. It's thankless. It's hard. I get thanks now, but what about the first, 8 years I fought and bled for this and was mostly despised and hated? I get lots of love now, but it was hard in the beginning. And so if there's anything I can do to help, I would love to. I really would. Because if you're really trying and really working towards Sasquatch stuff, man, it's just not as rewarding. It's hard. It's really hard. So Ashley Reiser, what part of NC? My family's from there. Yeah, you guys talk about it, Brandon and Ashley. Robbie White. My phone's dying here, guys, so I'm just going to do a couple more questions. Do you think if we weren't separating ourselves from nature so much, maybe Sasquatch would be closer to us? Yes. Or is it maybe just that they are as a species, or is that maybe just how they are as a species? No, we're more separate. I mean, they had more contact with the old natives, right? Way more, because the natives were so much more connected. So much more connected. So absolutely, yes, we would have much. And why are they having more contact with me? Why are they doing better with me? Because I'm more connected. That's my secret. That's it, guys. That's it. I just get out there and love the wilderness, track, and real tracking. People don't know what real tracking is. And that's it. How would you feel if they abducted you and brought you to their den? I would love that. The only thing I don't like, Blaze and Silver, the only thing that bothers me is when I'm sleeping in my truck or in a tent and they come around. I don't like that. There's nothing to be gained by that. It just scares the hell out of me. So that's the only thing that I don't like. And I'm remedying that as well. Now I'm going to put a camera on the roof and swivel it and stuff. Because if you're out there for Sasquatch and you don't want them around at one point, you're stuck. So, and there was one expedition where the Sasquatch kept coming around the tent, and it was like, we got to do something, guys. We can't be, and we weren't happy about it. So, can they swim? Probably, but not well. They'd be so heavy and so weighted. Like gorillas don't swim good, right? So, my theory would be yes, but they would be bad at it because their muscles are so heavy and their bones are so thick, right? So, heavy muscled beings don't swim. They don't float. They're not going to float, that's for sure. So, that's my theory, not for sure. Okay, one more question. Sorry, Stephisaurus, can I give you Todd's personal email? I promise I won't be disappointed. We'll just Kaiser Daily Vlogs. Just do bigfootencounter@gmail.com and she'll decide. So, hey Todd, Lake Simcoe, Ontario, lots of action here. Sign of the times. Yeah, good, Paul. And if there's some way we can help you, please let us know. I'd love to hear what your action is. Sassy Q, have you heard of the tribe that mine speaks with the Round Valley, Minico? No. Sounds very interesting, though. Todd, read your fortune. My fortune is I'll film a Bigfoot this year better than ever. I'd like that. I'd like to get footage this year. I'm going to work for that. And the pressure is being put on me to get footage by networks and people that I'm working with and Discovering Bigfoot Part 2 people. They want me to guarantee footage, so I'm going to fight hard for it this year and see what happens. It's pressure, but we'll see what it is. Okay, just one more question. Todd, do you think different troops of Sasquatch come together for what they consider to be special events? Oh, Sammy Chicken. Wow. I think they have gatherings every year. I think they go to different areas. I think it happened the year that Jeff Meldrum saw Sasquatch in Nordegg, and Survivor Man had some sick, crazy action. In Nordegg, I believe they gathered there at the time of year when there's great abundance. I think they gathered there. There were way too many individuals. I was clocking off like 25 individuals. I couldn't even keep track. I was like this. None of these tracks are the same, and I'm seeing like 24 individuals, and that's not right. Something was going on out there, and I believe it was 2013. There was a Sasquatch meeting, a Sasquatch gathering in Nordegg, and then next year, not. Next year they weren't there, and the year after they weren't there in abundance. I think at that time of year they were gathering somewhere else. So this is my theory, and I think there was a gathering in Radium one year that I was out there. So in 2010. So how do you know when that's going to happen? I don't know. Luck, fluke, keep banging away at it. But that's going to be the last question today. What an awesome question. Like you guys, man, every week you guys give me the sickest, amazing questions. So I'm going to work hard to get you guys a Saturday video. I apologize. I'm in Vancouver right now. I don't live here in Vancouver, but I'm out here just doing stuff that has to be done. And yeah, so thanks so much for your awesome questions. You guys are amazing. For more information, go to discoveringbigfoot.org. Amanda will put that link up, I'm sure. And there's a forum on there. I'm sure she's put that up already. And you guys are awesome. There it is. There it is, of course. And she's put the forum up there. Go talk on the forum, guys. You know, it's an awesome place. Amanda makes sure everybody has is fair and there's no BS. I mean, that forum is managed by amazing, amazing people. Thank you so much for tuning in this week, everybody. And I'm proud to have been able to do this show with you guys. You guys are just amazing. I'm stunned. You guys are freaking amazing. Your questions every week, they're always new. They're always amazing. They're always fantastic. You always push me. And thank you so much. You guys have an awesome rest of the week. And I expect to be back next Wednesday. If I'm not back next Wednesday, it's because I'm on expedition and I'm doing amazing things. So thoughts and prayers moving forward. Thoughts and prayers and high hopes for the discovery to come to fruition this year. Man, can it just happen? Wouldn't that be a miracle? A real positive movement forward that's going to take us to a next level of this discovery. I pray that that happens and somebody has that happen and it moves forward. So until then, guys, y'all take care. Yeah, I'll see you next week.